start. Okay. With this tutorial, we're gonna explain all about LAT. I hope after this tutorial, our new trainees could understand how significant LAT is, what it's all about. Okay, let's move on. Okay. The first question is, what does LAT stand for? What does it stand for? Could you answer it, please?
Okay. Sir,
Okay.
LAT means Level Assessment Tests.
Okay. We call it test, right?
Yes, sir.
But is it really a test? How would
Actually,
you? Okay.
Actually, sir, when we say tests, it may sound very scary, especially to children.
I know.
And then, sir, when we say tests, test is the same as examination, wherein they have to give an effort. They must study very hard to make sure they will get a good score. So if we do insist, like we will give you tests, we might give a feeling of, like, oh, I don't want, because it's a test.
Okay. But as you know, this is not a test at all, right?
Yes.
Just
Yes, sir.
first time meeting the tutor and the student, when they first meet, this class will be conducted. The only different thing from the normal class is after this class, the tutor need to evaluate her level assessment using our admin page. That would be the only difference. Okay. But as you know, we have two kinds of LATs, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Could you explain the difference? LAT1 and LAT2. Go ahead.
Okay, so LAT1, sir, is the materials that we are using is standard.
Mm.
Okay, while LAT2 or the second demo, we need to use the recommended book by the tutors who conducted first LAT.
I mean,
That's the main difference.
yes, okay. For LAT1, we have PPT files prepared for them, right?
Yes.
It is labeled or categorized regarding the student's age, right?
Age.
After figuring out our student's age, we can choose which PPT to use. Yes. And after first LAT, the tutor should recommend a certain book, and the second LAT, the tutor will use that specific book with the student, right? Okay.
Now, one more thing, sir.
Okay.
Okay, additional information for LAT, first LAT, the teacher has to focus more on like age of the student, so that the teacher would know what PPT to use. And for the second teacher, she or he has to focus more on the book recommended by the first teacher. So the main task of the first LAT teacher is to know the information of the student. And then the second LAT teacher, the task is to focus more on the first teacher's recommended book. So they have different tasks.
Okay, good. I have one question. I already mentioned that after LAT, tutor needs to evaluate their students' level, right? If the tutor who conducted LAT, the tutor will, leave her assessment regarding the student, right?
Yes.
So what about second tutor? After conducting LAT2, can the second tutor adjust this level assessment already filled in by the first tutor? Okay.
Yes.
Alright. That's good.
And I want to add some more, sir. For the first LAT, our PPT are categorized by age, right?
Mm.
But the content of these materials are the same, only the approach. So we have to inform the tutors that the content of these LAT materials are the same, but then different approach. Of course, different ages of the students, we will use different approach to the student.
Mm. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And let's move on. All right. What do you have to do to be well prepared for LAT? We briefly mentioned, but is there anything else the tutors need to be prepared to really conduct well LAT 1?
Yes, sir. In my case, sir, LAT first is very important because the first teacher should have or must know the information of the student.
Mm.
So usually, sir, we ask the student about what's this, sir? We can see in the student's profile the age of the student, and then from there, before we start our class, we can already prepare the PPT for the first LAT. And then at least, sir, they will know, is the student a boy or a girl? And then the age, sir, and then, what's this? Usually, so we can see there the wanted course by the student. So at least they have the idea already. So early preparation, sir, is very important before before they have the LAT classes.
Exactly. And this is the first time the tutor and the student meet, right? So
sir.
trying to make the first good impression, that would be really nice. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Let's talk about teaching style. During LAT 1, what kind of teaching style would be most appropriate for our tutors to use?
Approachable tutor.
Approachable? Okay. It's like getting to know each other, right?
Yes.
It's not about the material or serious stuff. It's just, knowing each other. So, we want... Go ahead.
In my case, sir, it is like, what's this? You want to make your student feel at home with you.
Exactly.
Usually, sir, the student, we cannot avoid it, but the student is really nervous to see a new person and then to talk to a stranger. So what we're going to do is to make them feel at home, let them express themselves confidently, and then let them feel that you are just a friend talking to them.
Exactly.
Feel them comfortable.
Making them comfortable and try to
Yes.
click with them.
A friendly environment, sir.
Exactly. Okay. And this question is already answered, I guess, right? After LAT 1, the tutor needs to assess their student's level, and the tutor needs to recommend an appropriate book for the student. So the second LAT tutor could use that information for their second LAT. Okay. What do you have to do to be well prepared for LAT 2 then?
Sir. Usually for the second LAT teacher, she has the task already, sir, to ask the first LAT teacher. So as I've said, early preparation will help. So she can ask the first LAT teacher and then she can browse her. What is the book recommended? So say, for example, the first teacher recommended, Can You Believe It? Example. So the second LAT teacher has time or has to prepare, has to browse. And then, sir, she has to read the comments of the first LAT teacher. So from there, she will have the idea. This student can converse well or can express him or herself well. So this is what I need to prepare.
Mm. That's good.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
aside from earlier browsing of the book, so you can provide another material, a sort of motivation material, sir, for your student, for you to get the interest of your student to focus to the material, which is the material that you are going to prepare aside from the book. It should be related also to the recommended book.
Mm. Okay. That's good. Let's move on. Okay. Teaching style. Okay. It would be somewhat different from LAT1, I think. What do you think?
Teaching styles are for me,
Yes.
actually, we, not really teaching style, but in ourselves, we must be, like friendly, create a friendly environment to the student.
Mm. Mm.
And then during the lat classes, sir, what I do is to, not really focus on the book recommended,
Mm.
but I need to, it's the time where we can get students. So
Mm.
I want to know, I want to know the students' interest too. Then at the same time, focus on the book. So there is at least, sir, like let my student enjoy in second lat. At the same time, sir, the book.
Mm.
So it's about the presentation of the book because it will be the recommended what's this material for him or for her. So the student has to be well interested. I mean, you have to get the student's interest to like the book,
Mm.
but really not what's this or not really imposing like this is what you're going to learn from me and this is what you're going to study. It might sound like burden to the student already.
Mm. Exactly.
So yes, sir. At least the students
Well,
are
go ahead.
at least the students are after your class. Let the student bear in mind, oh, I want to talk more to that teacher.
Mm.
I want to study with that teacher because I can feel like I can feel that she's only my friend. I want to talk to her more.
Mm. That's good. Okay. Well,
Sir.
come.
So
Okay, go
if
ahead.
I would be a second LA teacher, I think I will not focus 100% to the recommended book. Like maybe about 25% from the book, from the recommended book, and then 75% I will ask some questions which is related also to the topic, first topic from the book, and then another examples. So more on free talking. And then 25% maybe I will focus to that book, but not 100% focusing from the recommended book. Because I think it would be a bit boring for the students.
Okay. What if the student, it looks like student doesn't like the recommended book material at all? What can we do? Can the tutor change the book at the right moment, or she has to push through with the material even though the tutor knows the student doesn't like this material at all? What if that kind of situation happens? What would our tutors do?
Let me what's this say or let me add some information to that one, sir. As tutors, sir, actually we are not different to actors and actresses on big screens.
Mm.
We are like actors and actresses, and we must always be flexible. If you feel that the student is like starting to get bored,
Mm.
so you must always be ready to switch to another personality. Also the same as the conversation you are giving to the student. You can feel, sir, teacher must be very sensitive all the time.
Mm.
So
Okay.
if the book, sir, you think that the book is not really, like the student does not have any interests
Mm.
on this book, you can easily switch, sir, to the free talking, wherein your goal is to get the interest of your student.
Exactly.
Yes, sir, because only 25 minutes.
Mm.
So upon starting, and then you introduce the book already, and then you can see by just the facial reaction or the way your student answers your question, you can feel, I think this is not appropriate for him or for her because she's not interested. So make another way.
Mm. Okay, then it's not about the material, it's about
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's about the approach of the teacher
the
to the
teacher.
student.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, sir.
Alright.
And one more information, sir. It's not only for the student, sir. Lat teacher should not focus on the student. They must also focus on their own style, because this is the
Mm.
time where they need to sell themselves as teachers.
Mm.
I always tell this one, sir, to our Lat teachers. This is now the time for you to sell yourselves as teachers.
Mm.
If you're a very good teacher, immediately during the Lat classes, the student will always choose you.
Mm. That's
So this
good.
is the time for them, sir, to shine, to give their best shot during Lat classes.
Mm. You said it, Rich. The most important thing is was just told, I think. Alright. Is there anything you want to add, Mel? Shall we move on
It's
to
okay,
our
sir.
next question? Okay. Alright. And after second LAT, this part is already answered, right?
Yes.
The tutor can adjust the previous level assessment, and maybe she could re-recommend some other material too, right? Okay.
Yes.
Is there anything else? No? Right.
Second LAT tutor should, what do you call this one, sir?
Mm.
Assess also the reaction
Mm.
of the student, the response of the student from the book.
Mm. Mm.
Yes.
Okay. Alright. And when we compare LAT1 and LAT2, the level assessment and book recommending is not easy, right? LAT1 tutor has, I think, needs some equipped with some kind of skill regarding book recommendation. So I want to, think about this or look at this together. Let's say, okay, the tutor who conducted LAT1 have this kind of information on her hand. Okay, based on this information, what would the tutor would recommend to the student? Let's say the student's gender is female, age is 10, English competence is level 4, and when we asked her what kind of class style do you want, she didn't specify style. You know, some students might find, I want jolly tutors, I want a serious type, something like that, but in this case, there was no preference there. But the student specified that she wants to improve her pronunciation and grammar skills, and she doesn't have any kind of book she wants to learn with. If this is the case, what would the LAT tutor recommend a book appropriate for our student? Do we need more information, or based on this information we can decide on it? What would be
think
the
so, sir.
case? You think so?
Mm.
Okay.
So if I would be the first LAT tutor, sir, I would recommend the side-by-side book.
Side by side.
Yes, side-by-side book was integrated of pronunciation, grammar skills, and reading as well.
Okay. What about you, Rich?
In
What
my
kind of book would you
Okay, sir.
recommend?
In my case, if you're going to show me this one without talking to the student first,
Mm-hmm.
so if you're, say, for example, you just have to give me this information without the student, without meeting the student, I can recommend Grammar Time 1 or 2.
Grammar time.
1
Okay.
or 2, yes sir, because I
1
will
or
consider
2.
also the age. Never, I should not, what's this, based from the proficiency, English proficiency, because I haven't talked or I haven't met the student yet. So I can just recommend Grammar Time and also Let's Go.
Mm.
Because
Go
Let's
or
Go
grammar
and then,
time.
yes sir, Let's Go Grammar Time, and also Mel is right, we can also have Side by Side,
Side by
because
side
those
one.
books, yes sir, Side by Side,
Yeah.
because they are all integrated with pronunciation at the same time, grammar. But
I was, yes. Okay.
it may also, sir, it may change right after I met the student, right after I talk to him or to her, because usually, sir, at this age, like 10, usually they differ their English proficiency.
Mm.
Some children, although like 10 years old already, but the level in English is a little bit like, let's say, beginner. But some children, sir, those children who already studied in academies, like what's this? In Korea, they have this English academy also. So probably, sir, they have different levels. So let's say some they have beginners, and some levels they have high beginners. So I may recommend again the same book, but I may put it in like a second level or third level.
Mm. Okay. And grammar time, okay, Rich already mentioned that you're going to recommend grammar time 1 or 2, right?
Yes,
But
sir.
in case of Step by Step and Let's Go, those books
Yes,
have
sir.
several books included in them, right?
Ye-
How can we
Yes, sir.
decide on we're going to use Let's Go 1 or Let's Go 2 or Let's Go 3? How can we decide on that? The book
Uh,
is Let's Go would be appropriate, but which book should the tutor use, and how can she decide on that?
we have files, sir, right? We have book categorization, or we already categorized the book according to the levels. Say, for example, Let's Go 1. It falls under like beginner, low beginner to beginner. So since the proficiency is only like level 4,
4.
so this is appropriate for the first series or the first level. Like Let's Go 1, Grammar Time 1.
Exactly. You
Yes,
already
sir.
have the table for that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we
So
have.
they can refer, sir. However, they also need to check again. So
Okay.
anytime, sir, yes, if ever, sir, there is like, they happen to recommend one, Let's Go 1. But as the student, sir, becomes confident, sometimes, sir, we can assess the student later, not at the first time of meeting. Usually the students, sir, cannot express themselves freely. Like as you go along, as you meet the student, they become more expressive. So immediately, sir, I think they can change the student. They don't have to focus on level 1. So they can go to level 2. As long as the students, sir, can handle, it's okay.
Okay. Alright. Our tutors can find this kind of table in the admin
Yes.
page, right? Okay, let's say Let's Go would be appropriate for the student. We're gonna
Yes, sir.
check their level and
Yes,
find
sir.
the appropriate book for them.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alright. That's about it for LAT. But before we say goodbye, let's sum it up, okay? As we told, LAT stands for what?
Level
Assessment tests.
Test. But it's not test at all, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Building a
It's
good
Getting to
rapport.
know, yes, sir.
Exactly.
Getting to know each other test.
Alright. Alright, the difference between LAT and LA2. What kind of material do tutors use during LAT1?
Yes, for during L81 we have the standard material, and L82 we have to use the recommended book of the first LAT tutor.
Okay, good. And to be well prepared for LAT1, tutors need to check on what kind of information regarding the student,
Student's profile.
age, and
Age.
their
Yes, sir.
gender, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
They can also search check for the wanted course.
Wanted course.
exactly,
Yes, sir.
exactly. Okay, and during the LAT1, what kind of teaching style? As
A
we
friend-
already covered, exactly.
Yes, sir.
But we
A
can
tutor
get
must possess a very good first impression.
exactly. Okay. And after completing LAT1, the tutor needs to fill in the information regarding what?
Come
The
again,
tutor,
sir?
okay. After finishing LAT1, the tutor needs to fill in the information regarding the student's
Regarding the student, so what's this, sir? Level,
Level.
and then proficiency, sir.
And okay, that could be included in level
Yes, sir.
assessment. And one more important thing, book recommendation, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Exactly. Okay. And to be well prepared for second LAT, what do our tutors need to do?
They need to check the first LAT report.
Exactly. And talking with the first tutor would help a lot, right? And
Yes,
figuring
sir.
out the students' tendency, everything regarding the class, regarding the first student would help a lot. And anything else to be prepared well for LAT2?
They
I
must
know.
prepare, sir, for the book recommended by the first teacher.
Exactly. And I remember Mel briefly mentioned that some other topics or material related
Yes,
to
sir.
the book that would be used during LAT2 that could help a lot. Okay.
Yes.
And during LAT2, what kind of teaching style should be applied? Well, normally we would think that the tutor needs to focus on the material, but it's not that at all, right? It is
Yes.
actually the similar
Yes, sir.
to LAT1. Building a good
Yes,
rapport
sir.
should be the most important thing during LAT2 also. Okay? And after completing LAT2, what can our tutors do?
The tutor must assess the response of the student from the book or from the recommended book.
Exactly.
And also, second LAT tutor could ask some questions for clarifications from the first tutor who conducted the first LAT.
Okay. And the second LAT tutor can also adjust the student's
Yes.
level
Yes.
assessment.
Yes, sir.
He
And
or
she can
she has the
also-
authority to edit or change the level of the
Exactly.
students.
Exactly. And she can also re-recommend.
Change the book, sir.
Yeah, change the
Another
book.
book.
Okay. Alright. That was it about LATs. Thank you so much. And let's meet in another tutorial video, okay?
Okay,
Okay.
sir. Bye.
Bye bye.